Oh. Hello, Leon. Looks like it's just me and you in here today. It's okay. Just me and you are going to have a conversation today. The two of us. Leon the Froggy and Paul. That's it. That's okay. Oh, Leon the Froggy. Ribbit, ribbit. Yeah, it usually takes about 3 minutes for YouTube to send out notifications to people. And you, oh, okay. Me, Leon, and Aaron are going to have a 3-way conversation. Or just a 3-way, I guess. Did I ban everyone? I just recently unbanned everyone, so. That can't be it. Like 6 days ago, I cleared the ban rolls. As is the usual. Excuse me. Come on, YouTube. You can do it. Send out those notifications. I believe in you. Or don't. Good morning there, Bright Bold Photography. You want to be my personal portrait person when I become dictator of the world? This isn't capitalism, it's corporatism. Oh, God. Had the vaccine yesterday morning. Don't expect an easy ride. It's pretty rough. I really don't care. You know what else is pretty rough? Dying on a fucking ventilator. Dying on a fucking ventilator in a hospital is pretty rough. So I think I'll take my chances. I'll get my shot. 3 minutes and counting, and still no notifications have gone out. 3 minutes and counting. Now almost 4 minutes. No notifications. Hello, Taco Face Fart. Thanks for the well wishes, my friend. What's the notification? It's a thing that YouTube sends out when people go live so that their fans can, know that they're live and they can come and participate in the, Looks like YouTube is sending them out like one at a time. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Yep, just got a notification. Yep. Didn't get a note he was checking sub page. Yep. See? Oh my God, dude. Well, I usually don't do anything until YouTube just sends out notifications. Yep. Just got a notification. Look at this shit. Like, how hard is it? Look behind you. It's gorilla. fucking ridiculous. You guys realize I've been live 5 minutes and they're just now sprinkling out notifications for the stream. Wonderful. Wonderful. So many of these start with me bitching about YouTube not sending out notifications. Yeah, YouTube is butt. How are you? I'm okay. How are you? Wish my job gave us another vacation day for when we get the vaccine, but nah, I gotta keep production up. Love living under this system so much. Oh yeah, isn't it great? Happy Friday, thanks. Today's a good day for me. Today's a fun day for me because it's Paul Day for episodes. We record a Paul episode every Friday. And so I've got a really fun episode pulled today. I try and pull episodes that are going to be fun for the other dudes. And I have fun watching them have fun. So that's always my goal. I always try and think of the two dudes that are going to be on the show with me first and then the audience second. Because I figure if those two dudes are jazzed about what we're going over, then, you know, the rest of the audience probably will be. So it's a Paul Day. Live stream the episode? No, we shan't. This will be a pre-recorded episode, and we'll go to an editor and get the 1-2 treatment. And we'll come out probably a month or more from now, but that's okay. Gorilla versus the Blob. Gorilla. Gorilla wins. I don't know if TJ thinks, whoa. I opened up my packet of weed here, and there's a pack of Diablo sauce that I stashed in there. Stoner stuff. Why did I put some Diablo sauce in my baggie of weed? You got me. Yeah, old man Paul moment. Stoner's eating Taco Bell, I know. I'm a little buzzed now and starting to realize I'm just getting older and it scares me. How do I deal with that? Embrace it. Like, what are you worried about? What could possibly be the problem? You're gonna look cooler. You're gonna be wiser. People are gonna have to listen to you more. Like, it's all good. It's nothing bad about getting old. Getting old is awesome. We're not gonna 420 weed cast it today. They're pagan situations. I'm not your weed counselor. Cool. Seek out the fountain of youth. Dude, if the fountain of youth fucking existed, I wouldn't bother with it, to be frank with you. I would not. Only problem being old is those damn meddling kids, yes. No, we're not talking tobacco either. We're not talking drugs. I'm not your drug guru. We're not doing the 420 weed cast. We're not talking about favorites. I delivered Taco Bell to the two main groups that ordered it, a drunk person and a bunch of stoned kids. Yep. That's Taco Bell for you. And you guys got a real negative way of looking at getting old. You're like, I'm not looking forward to falling apart. My body's going to break down on me. Like, you guys really are afraid of getting old. Like, look, yeah, your body doesn't do the same things that it did when you were young, but that's a good thing. That means people expect less out of you. People don't call you up all the time and be like, hey, you want to come break your back helping me move out of my apartment again? Like, they don't even bother calling you anymore because they know you're fucking old and busted, you know? It's nice. I'm up early. Yeah, I had to get up early today. I had to get up early today. But you're right, I am up a little earlier than I usually am. There's tons of perks. There's nothing but perks to getting old. Like, people that are afraid of getting old need to just drop it. It's not bad. Look, you're running towards the finish line. I'm sick of constant consciousness thing, not ready, but I'm ready to die. Buddy dude. Let's bring it down a peg. All right? There's no need to die. All it takes is one Spectre, Slow Loris. You know this more than anybody. All it takes is one. My mom complained to me about being old constantly. That sucks. It sounds like your mom had the wrong fucking idea about getting old. 29 is not old, no. In fact, I'll be honest with you, 40, which is what I am, is not old. I think like 50 is old. So 10 years from now, I'll be old. Well, a little less than 10 now. My birthday's coming up here pretty soon. I'll be 41 in less than a month. Whew. Think about that shit. 41. Oh yeah, fully middle-aged man, yeah. How did your 30s compare to your 20s? I mean, I lived basically two different lives over the course of my 20s and into my 30s. I lived two separate life paths. I tried two separate life paths in my 20s and 30s. My 20s, pardon me while I blow my nose. Disgusting as it may be, it has to be done. I spare you guys the snotty mess. You look at the side of my grinder. Okay. We good? We're good. So my 20s, I kind of just chased the like, hey, I'm going to work and get my own pad and stuff dream. And I did pretty good with that, you know. I got a job and I stayed with it and I worked as many hours as I could work. And I was able to buy my first piece of property. I bought my first home when I was 21 years old, which is pretty young to buy your first place. Now, it wasn't a house, it was a condo, but it was important to me. You know, I wanted to just work and have a job and all of that and party. Those were my main things, you know. And then like towards the end of my 20s, I got into that, all right, it's time to settle down type of mentality. And so, you know, got into a long-term relationship that turned into a marriage, that turned into a purchasing a home, that turned into trying to have kids. And that all just kind of abruptly stopped when I was 36 years old, or 35. Honkers. You guys hear them? I'm sure you did. Good old honkers. Yeah, so I would have been 35 years old, and that year everything in my life changed, and the trajectory of my life went completely different. I came to the realization that my marriage was not working and was not going to work. And that made the life that I had kind of put myself on the track to try and pursue completely and utterly meaningless. And I didn't realize it at the time, but it was kind of a liberating thing in my life, because I finally started living how I wanted to live for the first time, not taking into consideration what other people thought or what other people wanted or what other people expected of me. Yeah, now I do this. Now I live this life, and this life is beautiful. It's tough. Believe it or not, my job is hard. There's a lot of bullshit that comes along with having a job like this. I've got stressors in my life, but I've got a beautiful wife. I've got a dog and a cat that I love. I've got a little place here with a little piece of land that I can sit on, and, got a car. I'm doing okay. Amelia has met my family, yes. She's met my mom, my stepdad, my sister and brother-in-law, and all of their kids. My other little sister and her kid. So she's met the vast majority of my immediate family. They all came to visit while we were living in Louisiana. I have met Amelia's dad, but I have not yet met her mom, stepdad, or sisters. Eligible for vaccine yet? No. Is the royal scandal a scam to make poor people think that it's not easy being rich? Huh? I don't even care about the royal scandal. I would have never gone to Louisiana to meet anybody, so kudos to them. Yeah, I suppose so. I can't speak for how you feel, but getting out of Louisiana seems to have done wonders for you. I'm telling you guys, man, I went through a lot of shit in Louisiana, and that probably paints my perception of it. But the time I spent in Louisiana was likely the hardest period of my life. Now, it wasn't hard all the way through. It wasn't just like this constant struggle, but I had so many things happen to me. Some of them job related, some of them relationship related, some of them friendship related, some of them family related. Just so many things happened to me that caused heartache and pain in my life. And I lived under really spurious financial circumstances for about the first year I was in Louisiana. It was a tough part of my life. It was a real hard chunk of my life. And I came to identify that state with that struggle, which probably isn't fair to Louisiana, to be honest with you, because there were things about Louisiana, I've gone over them here, that I really enjoyed. I liked kind of like the people's attitude there. There was something about it, some parts of the attitude I didn't really jive with very well. That kind of laissez-faire, shit'll get done when it gets done, kind of like you call like a professional business to come and help you and they don't show until 2 days after they were supposed to show type of thing. I grew up in an area where like that's not the way that businesses try and put themselves out there. Yeah, some pretty birds, some pretty nature. I mean, there was a lot to like about Louisiana, but it was just a hard state for me. Hard culturally, growing up in the West, hard financially, it being the state where I founded this, business with my partners. And it took quite some time before that business started paying off. And, heartbreak, breakups, just horrible stuff. A lot of horrible stuff. A lot of stuff I can't even talk about. Well, I guess I could talk about it, but I won't. I try and be very careful with stories that aren't mine to tell. Just because I lived through something doesn't mean a story is mine to tell. But suffice it to say that I suffered a lot in Louisiana. Had a lot of good times in Louisiana too. But getting out of there, getting out of that environment has been amazing for me. It felt like victory getting out of that place. And I know that's an emotional way to look at it. It wasn't the state that was beating me down. It was the state of my life that was beating me down. It was, a relationship that had gone sour and just all the things that come along with that and all the stressors that come with being a semi-public figure and running your own business and doing a show and, all of that compounded there. And here I feel like free from it. I don't know how else to put it. Mr. Potato Head tell me, did you know that pain is beauty? Does your new face come with a warranty? Oh yeah, the hurricanes definitely contributed. I mean, it was insane. The first year I was down there, we only were in the cone of one hurricane, and I was scared shitless when I saw that we were in the cone. But it was like a Cat 1 or a Cat 2 or something, and TJ and Scotty were just like, this ain't gonna be shit, and it wasn't. The wind blew, it rained a lot, it flooded a little bit, everything was fine. So that was a good experience. That first one that I sat through was a good experience for me because it let me know that like not every hurricane means you've got to fucking evacuate your house, but every hurricane brings the possibility of that. And so that first year we were only in the damage cone of one hurricane. The next 2 years it went up, like the next year it was 3, then the next year it was 6. And then that last year that I was there in Louisiana, it was 8 hurricanes. I was in the damage cone of 8 hurricanes that year. The house fire, yeah. That was fucking insane, man. I felt like the day that it happened, too, we were riding high, man. We had done this 24-hour show. And we had somehow survived it and made it fun. We knew it was fun. Like all of us were exhausted at the end of that 24-hour show. But we knew that we had made something that was really fucking fun for the people that watched us. We had managed to do, a whole day of performance. And finishing that felt so fucking good. And it felt so good to just turn off everything and say, man, we did a good thing today, and go to bed. And I got to sleep for about 3 hours, and then the house burned down. it felt like a cruel joke. Did they ever get the body out of the Hard Rock Hotel that fell apart? Yes. Yes, they did. They eventually were able to get the poor fucking corpse off of the girder. I can't remember exactly when that happened. I think it happened right before the pandemic. I lived through the wettest hurricane from the standpoint of water. It turned my city into an island. The wettest hurricane from the standpoint of water. Yeah, it sucks, man. Going through the Rolodex of Louisiana shit that happened, it just sucks. It just sucks. It was terrible. A lot of it was terrible for me personally. And being apart from that has been great. I was evacuated for 3 weeks. Yeah, see, I was lucky. I was in the damage cone of like something like 13 or 14 hurricanes while I lived in Louisiana. Never had a major incident, never had to evacuate. The worst one that we went through ended up being really anticlimactic and ended up being a lot of fun, honestly. I can't remember the name of it, but one of these hurricanes came through. Hey, baby. One of these hurricanes came through, and it was really scary. Like, it looked really scary. And I lived in an apartment on the second floor. And this was right after I'd gone through a breakup, too. This huge hurricane comes. It looks like it's going to be some nasty fucking bastard. And so TJ and Chelsea called me and were like, hey, can we come stay with you? And what that means is like TJ, Chelsea, at that time, Nova, Sal, and Squex. They did not have Corn Pop yet. So I said, yes, come on. And that, even though that hurricane really didn't end up being much of anything, that was a really cool weekend. And I really needed it too, because I was sitting there like rotting alone in my apartment, having just been through a pretty nasty breakup. And it was just me and Dinor just sitting there being depressed boys together. And it brought me out of that. That little incident jump-started me out of that, to where like I was around people again. I had fun again. I sat and I laughed and we watched movies together, and it was a really instrumental thing in me getting over that hump of, just depression and self-isolation and shittiness.
It was July 2019.
Yeah.
Placing it.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was called either, but
Yeah, I can't remember the name of that hurricane. You and I were talking at that time, but we were just friends. We were just, well, kind of like fuck around friends, but friends nonetheless. We hadn't really considered a relationship or anything.
You were desperate, like, I can't talk to you right now. Oh, wait.
What do you mean?
I like when TJ and Chelsea were over, it's like, can't talk right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I go into that mode when there's people over. Like, it's one of the reasons I don't like having people over a lot is because I go into this mode that comes straight out of my mom, which is like I want to be the entertainer or whatever. Like I want to make sure everybody's comfortable and everything's good and blah 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 blah, and people have this and people have that. But yeah, that sucked though, because you and I would like mess around every once in a while when we talked, and I was like sleeping because that I gave them my bed and I was sleeping on the beanbag, you know, and it's just like you can't lay there and jerk off on the beanbag when people could come out at any second, you know.
Yeah, or a cat.
Or a cat could fucking Salvador jumps up on your dick. It's just not, you know. You gotta have a little, like a modicum of privacy. You seemed happier lately, Paul. Yeah. Paul, have all your relationships started out as friends? All but one. Like, all but one of my long-term relationships started out as friendships first. Cool graffiti on this one. This one's just got like tons of cool graffiti. I know by the time I grab it and flip it around to show you guys, it'll be gone. What's the age difference between you and Amelia? 18 years. She was born the year I graduated high school. I like watching train graffiti. Yeah, dude, it's pretty dope. Still going by, too. I could have really got you guys some. Yep. Was born in 98. Blow the horn. How does it feel to have 2000s babies watch you? I haven't even really come to terms with the fact that people were born after the year 2000 quite yet. So I don't really know. Amelia and I are the same age. I really like hearing her talk in the background. Amelia's awesome. She's the best. She's my favorite.
I don't know. You're better at a lot of things than me.
Yeah, but you're better at a lot of things than me. Like two little puzzle pieces. Bro, people born on 9/11 are adults now. I don't even want to talk about it. See, that's the thing. That is one mental block that I've put up in my mind. Nobody has been born after the year 2000. It just didn't happen.
And if they are, they're small children.
Yeah, and if they were, they're tiny little kids and will be forever. They're never going to grow up. They're always going to be little children running around. See, that's the way I think about it. That's what I've had to do to make sense of getting older. I was born in 2000. I'm 21. No, you aren't, and no, you aren't. You're a little child. You are a little toddler running around, and you shouldn't probably be using mommy and daddy's phone right now if you were born in the year 2000. See, 95, you're a grown-up. If you were born in the 90s, you're a grown-up. But if you were born in the 2000s, you're a fucking toddler. That's it. There's no 20-year-olds that were born in the year 2000s. None. Not one. Imagine being born exactly 2,000 years after Christ. I mean, number one, Christ's birth date is a matter of fucking fable and myth. It was placed in December to counteract the pagan fucking solstice festival and shit. To give Christianity something to give the pagans to worship on the solstice that wasn't pagan. So, you weren't, 2,000 years after Christ is just, we've all agreed on that. But that doesn't make it the truth. Like, there's a very good chance that Jesus Christ never existed. There's a very, very good chance that he historically did not fucking exist. So.
Yeah, he's just too similar to so many other saviors.
His life story is basically the hero's journey coupled with a lot of religions that preceded him. So like there's I can't remember which one it is, but there's an Egyptian god that was born of a virgin that had to sacrifice himself to save humanity, blah 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 blah. All of these like stories turn up. Dionysus was one of them. Born of a virgin, son of a god. Yep, humble beginnings. Horus, yeah, that's the one. There's just like a number of religions that predate Christianity, and even predate Judaism, in which there are characters that, for some reason, share pretty much the same life story as Jesus Christ of Nazareth. So it's a little spurious to me that he existed. And even if he did, the likelihood is that he was some kind of Jewish cult leader who tried to claim to be the Messiah, and all of this mythology was appended to him. So his life was probably, if he did exist, one of just rebellion against the traditional orthodoxy of religion. He might have been killed for that. And then his followers appended all of this other mythology over the years onto his existence and created a little Jewish cult offshoot. Makes sense why Judaism and Christianity are similar. They're the same religion. They share a holy book. The Torah is the Old Testament. They just put on, like, the Christians came on and were like, okay, yeah, the Torah, but then Jesus came and here's the New Testament. So they tacked on another book. It's the same fucking religion.
Yeah. He's just the Messiah that the Jews think haven't come yet.
Right. The Majus, the Majus, dude. What the fuck? I need to stop smoking weed. No, I need to smoke more. The Jews believe that eventually the Mashiach will come, but they believe that he has not come yet. And Christians believe that he did indeed come. My Jews. What's up, my Jews? When is eventually? I don't know. Ask a fucking rabbi. Go look at a Google. I don't know. Go ask a rabbi. Or are you proud of me, Bo Jiden? Are you my real dad? Some rabbis say yes, some rabbis say no. Jesus said himself that he would return within the lives of people living. Yeah, he lied. Nobody that was around when he croaked is still around, and yet, well, see, like, unless you believe the Mormons believe he went over to America and converted some Nephites over there or whatever the fuck.
Even then, I don't think anyone alive during Joseph Smith is alive now.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Joseph Smith.
It was like the 1800s or
Yeah,
something.
1700s or whatever the fuck it was. Jesus didn't lie. He technically could only be witnessed to have returned if people were alive to witness it. Huh? He said he would come back within their lifetimes.
Unless you just take a technicality and him coming out of the grave is coming back.
No, that's when he said it.
Yeah.
He said it after he rose from the grave and ascended to heaven. He said, I will be back in your lifetime. Or whatever the fuck. And that was fucking 2021 years ago.
No.
Where the motherfucker's at. I mean, that's I've heard of being fashionably late, but isn't he supposed to come? Jesus, the time traveler. He came back in the wrong time and landed. Oh, dude, that would be funny. He landed in dinosaur times. Want to go inside, D?
Yeah.
You cold? You a cold boy? He's a naked butt boy now. Dinor's better. A little better every day. You can tell, like, his ear is way less red and there's less gunk coming out of it. So the eardrops we have are working. And he's shaking his head around less. So he's doing way better. My Christian days were like, it's hard for me to reconnect with that because I was never what you would call like a Bible believing, hardcore church going Christian. It was just kind of the default position for me as a kid. And it took me a little while, you know, it took me like until I was a teenager to finally go like, And it's really hard for me to get back into that mindset. It's just what I was told. I was told that this was the truth and this is what it was. I was raised in it. You know, my family went to church like once or twice a year. My parents would sometimes, you know, use an anecdote from religion or whatever the fuck, mention some kind of religious thing, do some kind of religious fucking observance or whatever the fuck. But as far as what I thought and felt about it, like, it's hard for me to remember, honestly. It just kind of fell away after I, became a teenager and started questioning shit. Oh, thank you, baby. You want me to start us some coffee?
I did.
Oh, you did?
I think one of my favorite is like the Dead Sea is salty because of the fucking Sodom and Gomorrah and her turning into a pillar of salt.
Yeah, dude. The Dead Sea is salty because of one pillar of salt. If that's all you ever had with it, like G-Man says, you wasn't no Christian. I mean, no true Christian. I was raised Christian. I believed in Jesus. I believed in God or whatever.
And the whole Jesus take me into your heart shit or whatever.
Yep. Did the altar call at a fucking Protestant church. Whatever. Like, you can't say I wasn't no Christian. One, two, three. 3 engines. Screaming, too. Did you hear them? Yeesh. The Wandering Jew is kind of like a placeholder for a person that saw Christ croak and will witness the second coming. So the dude is technically undead and wandering the earth as a vagrant Jew. What? Yeah, there's a recording. I'll have to see if my mom can find it. There's a little tape, and it was transferred from a reel-to-reel that my dad had. And it's me at 9 months old singing Jesus Loves Me, This I Know. And it's super fucking creepy because I sound like a 9-month-old. It's the first recording of my voice. I wish I could find it. But that's it. It's like that song, it goes through, Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. Little ones to him belong. They are weak, he is strong. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. The Bible tells me so. That's it. But it's me as a little fucking proto-human singing it. It's creepy. Nah, dude, I never went to no Bible camp or anything like that, thankfully. Do you recommend reading the Bible just for curiosity's sake? No. Most of the Bible is really ponderous, boring shit. There's some interesting stuff sprinkled throughout the Bible. I'd recommend, read Genesis. That's an interesting book. Read, some of the Gospels are okay. Like, some of the later stuff has some stuff in it. Most of the cool stuff is in the fucking Old Testament, though, to be frank.
It's also just like the mountain of genealogy shit.
Yeah, the lineages and
trying
shit.
to tie themselves back to...
This begat that, begat this, begat him, begat her, begat that, begat this, and that's why we're all related to fucking, what's his name? Who was the first fucking guy? Yeah, Adam, I guess, but I mean, the Jews tie their lineage to that first dude, the first guy to circumcise himself. We covered it in the circumcision.
Abraham?
Yeah, I think it was Abraham, yeah. He had another name, though. And then he took the name Abraham and circumcised himself, yeah. Abram became Abraham, yeah. Abraham. So, maybe like search out some of the better stuff in the Bible and save yourself the boredom of reading most of it.
I mean, back when Hannah was Hugo, that Hugo and Jake read the Bible thing was probably the best reading I've seen.
Yeah. That was a pretty interesting little web series they did back then. I've read through it twice. I did a long form tape guided Bible study and then read through it again on my own. My early teens, when I started to manifest my mental illness, I turned to religion because, of course, I was raised in that as a possible answer. I thought that maybe I was suffering from not being close enough to God or whatever the fuck. And so I read the Bible a couple of times, and I took comfort in doing it. And then the problems continued to get worse. So like while I was doing it, I'd be like, oh yeah, this is kind of comforting. But it also led me to question one of the thing that killed the Bible for me and killed religion in general for me was Noah's Ark. I kept coming back to it after I read it. And I remember going through the Bible study of it and just going like, this is bullshit. This is this dude and his two sons built a fucking boat big enough for two of every animal on it. Like, what about the food? What about the fresh water? They would have needed like 1 billion gallons of fresh water for those animals.
Yeah, that was just all falling on the ship from the rain.
Right.
Just drowning all the little animals.
Yeah, drowning all the little voles. It's just like makes no sense. Just like you got predator and prey on the same fucking thing together. Like, what did the fucking meat eaters eat?
Rain.
They ate rain. You know what I mean? And then just like looking at the evidence for something like a global flood and seeing that it's just not there. Like, I remember like the first piece of evidence that I saw for a global flood was the Grand Canyon. They were like, the Grand Canyon is proof of the global flood because it was created by this huge amount of water coming in and then draining away super fast. And that's how it got so big and deep. And then I read about the Grand Canyon and looked at it, and you can actually see the different strata of rock that the fucking river that cuts the Grand Canyon is, the Colorado River or whatever the fuck it is that cuts the Grand Canyon. It fucking, like, you can see how it's taken like 1.5 million years to carve its way down. It's just absurd. The absurdity of the story kicked me out of religion. I was like, this is all bullshit. So Bible study ended up being what got me out of religion.
I'm just surprised you didn't get the story I got. The fossils were planted by the devil.
I never heard that until I became an atheist. And then, like, I started to hear those arguments existed that the devil actually snuck around and, like, planted fossils around Man, that's a desperate maneuver right there. That's what I like to call desperation. Yeah, Noah's Ark is basically a retelling of the story of Gilgamesh. I didn't know that back then. I know that now. It was a bit harder for me. My Catholic school dismissed all that as allegory, so they didn't have to own the absurdity. Yeah. Well, I wasn't raised Catholic, so I guess that helped. The bones are there to test your faith. Yeah. Test your might. Do you see the bones? Do you believe the bones? If so, Satan has tricked you in your sin. I stopped being a Christian when I realized that no matter how many times I prayed the gay away, I was still bi. Yeah. I mean, that was a big part of it, too. A big part of my struggle as a teen was struggling with my sexuality, which was emergent, and thinking that that was some kind of, you know, example of sin or me being sinful that needed to be corrected, and worrying about people finding out about that shit, having to hide it. Like, all of that shit contributed to the, you know, disorders that I genetically inherited. I wonder why Christianity is so obsessed with sex. I mean, the human beings are obsessed with sex. We're biological, you know, machines put here to reproduce ourselves.
Cricket a little watch.
Oh, how's he doing?
You didn't woke you up this morning?
No, I woke myself up this morning. I usually wake up kind of early in the morning to pee. And I was just like, I gotta finish the research on this anyway, so I'm just gonna do it. And I did. And I sat down, I added 2 more things. Got 10 pages of research. We're good to go. And then I came out here. It was nice and brisk this morning, and I wanted to do one of these. So here we be. But yeah, no, I got up super dumb early today. Sun was just coming up when I got up.
I remember you like grabbed me at one point in the night, like you just put your hand on me, like.
I thought I was dreaming about cricket.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the dream was, but I woke up and I thought your arm was cricket.
Oh.
And I thought he was messing with you.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was dreaming. I was dreaming cricket was messing with you. And then I woke up and I thought that cricket was there, and I grabbed, and then I realized it was you, and I was like, ew.
Cricket won the battle of the bedroom.
Yeah. We've tried different fucking methods with cricket, because cricket is a cat that likes to fucking wake you up when he wants you to be up. And we locked him out of the bedroom for a while. We've tried several times to lock him out of the bedroom, and at night he'll just sit there and meow at the door or scratch at the door. So we finally were just like, all right, dude, I mean, I think the best way to handle it is, because it seems like most nights he's fine. He just kind of jumps up and sleeps with us a little bit, and then he goes on about his business later. On the nights that he acts up, we just boot his little ass out. I mean, that's the way it has to work.
But he's just relentless. If he's closed out all night, he'll sit by that door for like an hour.
Oh my god, dude, he jiggles the doorknob. I've never seen anything like it in my life. At the old apartment we had, he was able to reach the doorknob and jiggle it. And he would like put both paws on the doorknob and just like I'm like, you're not even supposed to know that a doorknob is a thing. Like, it's like somebody trying the door. It's like fucking, it's disconcerting.
And then he would do the door slam.
Yeah. Now he does this other fucking maneuver where he puts his little paw under the door, flips it around, lets his claws out, and rakes it back so the door goes thump. It's like, how are you coming up with this? Dude, capitalism is hungry today. Economos hungers today.
I don't know, it might be because it's so early too.
No. This is a high concentration of fucking trains. I've been out here early before. Economos hungers today. The engine of Economos needs food and fuel. No, I like the trains. The trains don't bug me. Before I got my cat, I missed the low blood circulation in my legs while sleeping thanks to the meow machines.
You must have had some fat cats that were cutting off your circulation.
Yeah. Seriously, like, fucking Cricket, like, sometimes lays on me. And he doesn't weigh much. He distributes his weight very nice and evenly, and it's like having, like, a little extra weight on you. If your cats were cutting off your fucking leg circulation, like, that's a tub of cat.
Remember that thing a couple of years ago? Cinder blocked the cat on the little underwater treadmill.
Oh yeah, dude. I wonder if she's okay. I wonder how Cinderblock is doing now. I wonder if there's been an update on Cinderblock the cat doing her water therapy. Where did Economos come from? TJ made it up. Like, we were talking about it, the economy one day, and TJ named it Economos and did this big fucking, God speech about how Economos wants more and Economos needs your blood and blah, blah, blah. And since then, that's just been what we call it on the show. Economos.
She's doing good. She started at 21.8 pounds, and now she's down to 16.8 pounds.
Dude, Cinderblock, go. I think it was TJ that made it up. I'm 99% sure it was TJ that did. Economos is displeased. Economos must feed. Economos. Excuse me. There is art of Economos, yes. People have drawn it. Usually they combine a bull and a bear from the bull and the bear market and make a giant beast.
I thought you got me something, honey.
I eat.
Oh.
can stay out here for a little bit. Or go potty if you have to. You gotta go potty? Huh? You have to go potty?
Are you looking for your bowl?
I got 2 balls that I can see right here. Well, one. I see the blue one over there. I don't see where the other ball went. Oh, the other ball's over here. I think. Yeah. The ball's right here.
You want to get your bowl?
Just fresh water to sip.
Oh, you did want it, huh?
He wanted his ball. You ready? It's going this way. You can tell Dinor's feeling better. Come on. You fetching good. You ready? Ready? Oh, I hit it.
Oh, hairpin turn.
Come over here. It bounced. It went this way.
Can you do it?
Whatever, it gives them something to do. What's the deal with dogs and balls? They love them.
Maybe it's like the hunting dog thing.
Yeah.
To bring back the kill.
Dinor's got a little bit of a hound in him, so that's where his piercing bark and his retriever kind of drive, I think, comes from. He loves playing fetch. And he loves playing tug of war. My beagle doesn't play fetch. Yeah, Dinor is obsessed with fetch. Like there are some days where Dinor will play fetch all day. Where did it go?
It's to your left, babe.
Aha! Aha! I found the ball. You ready? Steady. Go in. Bring it back, quick. Don't lose it out there. He's got to poop. Oh, well, whatever. He'll find it again or not. We can buy infinite balls at this point. Maybe not infinite, but
We can afford a couple rubber balls
Yep.
in there.
we can get some balls.
He's had this one for at least 3 months now, I think.
His ear is better, yeah. Less crusty, less red and inflamed. You can tell it's hurting him less. So
He still has like a week or so of medicine to go, unfortunately.
yep. You appreciate my early morning streams. Well, thank you. I appreciate you being here in the early morning to see me stream. Your dog is lucky to have you around all the time. Do you think it's right to have animals in a typical situation where the dog spends most of his time alone while people work and commute, etc.? I mean, it sucks. Some dogs are fine with that. Like,
it helps to have two if you're going to be alone
yeah,
all the time.
like that's how our dogs were when I was married the first time. We had Yoshi and Koopa, and both of us worked 9 to 5s, and so the dogs were alone a lot throughout the week, but alone with each other. So they did just fine with it. They didn't have like separation anxiety like a lot of dogs do because they had this other person. Now Dinor, like, he sits alone sometimes. Like if we're going somewhere where we can't take him, like we went on that road trip the other day. Dinor was here pretty much all day by himself. Well, with Cricket. You know, so Dinor's not here alone anymore, but Dinor knows how to be alone. He's fine. Usually he just curls up and goes to sleep, but he's not alone much.
Now he's got a little brother to keep him occupied.
Yep. Now him and his brother chase each other around the house and get into trouble together and shit, so he's got a little friend to sit with him.
Definitely a lot of people crate train their dogs if they're going to be gone a lot.
Yeah, we Yoshi and Koopa were immaculately crate trained. They loved it. They would actually go there on their own to just, like, we left it open all the time, and they would go there together while we were out and about in the house. Sometimes they just wanted to go be together, and they would go and lay down in that crate together. And it was the cutest shit. You'd walk in there, the door would be open, and they'd be sitting side by side in the crate. Just like, what are you guys doing?
Snuggling.
Yep. Now, dogs are den animals, and so crate training can lead dogs to having a really nice space in the house where they feel safe and secure, and it leads to a lot less anxiety in some dogs. And those two dogs, I'm telling you, they took to it like fucking immediately, and it was so needed. Like, when they were puppies, they were so fucking rambunctious. Like, they were, like, you know how puppies do that puppy fighting thing? Yeah. Constant. Dude, I remember we were letting them run around the house and stuff because they were potty trained. That we got them potty broke. And we were letting them run around the house and stuff. And one day I came home from work, and there was blood, like, all over the kitchen. Not like all over it, like a giant pool, but like, yeah, like little droplets of blood and shit. And I was like, what the fuck? And I went and looked, and Koopa, the big one, the one that was twice the size of Yoshi, had a fucking wound on his ear. She fucking got him. They got in a fight, and she nailed his ass. I think it was that day that dominance was settled between the two of them. Because I've told you guys stories about Yoshi and Koopa before. And it was some of the funniest shit you'd ever watch, dude. Some of the funniest shit you would ever watch. Koopa was a big boy. He was Dinor size, probably, but like built bigger, you know, like muscular, where Dinor's kind of like wiry. Yeah. He was big. He was like, ugh. And Yoshi was this tiny little black chihuahua that was about, 3/4 of a bread loaf. And she ran his ass. He would sit there and just look all downtrodden while she ate two pieces of his food. She always had to eat 2 pieces of his food before she moved to her bowl, and then that was his signal that he got to eat. It was the craziest shit. I used to laugh so much looking at them.
That's how it was with Cricket and Dinor for a while, too.
Yep.
We had to, like, shoo away Cricket from Dinor's foods that Dinor could eat.
Yep. Cricket, when he showed up, he was like, I'm going to eat your food. Luckily, Dinor's not food aggressive at all, so. He lived with Sal and Yujiro for too long to ever have anything like food aggression.
And then it kind of reversed. And Dinor started stealing Cricket food.
Yeah. Now they just steal each other's food every once in a while. I think it just happens.
They drink each other's water.
Yep. I drink your water. Oh, yeah, I drink your water. It's like little brother rivalry going on.
Dinor's just like, or Cricket's just like Dinor, but shorter.
Yeah. What does Cricket weigh?
I think he was like 18 pounds when we took him to the vet before we left. He's probably down to 16 now. Yeah.
He's lost a pretty noticeable amount of weight.
But he's a stocky cat, so we don't ever expect him to get down to like 10 pounds.
No.
That wouldn't fit his frame.
No. He's a big boy, but he was a tubby boy. Now he's a lot less tubby.
You can see his little waist and feel his hips and ribs.
He's got a new lease on life. Like, that's a ban.
You want me to go all the way ban?
Oh, yeah, ban him. That's like the third stupid fucking shit that I've seen out of him. So banned, banned, and banned. I just don't understand people that sit and just post nonsensical drivel in the chat and never get noticed other than to get banned and come back and do it again and again and again and again. It's just like, fuck, man. The epitome of boredom.
Minor, did you lose your ball again? Goodness gracious. Maybe it's time to just get a couple more.
What did you do with your ball? What did you do with your ball?
You look kind of cold now.
Yeah. I mean, it is chilly out here. Naked dinosaur, dude, yeah. He looks like a different dog when he's all trimmed up like this. He literally looks like a different dog.
I feel like going on a ball hunt. Can't have gone far.
Oh no, you're not gonna go on a ball hunt, are you?
Can't have gone far.
Yeah, he could have. He could have walked all the way across the yard with it. What's the largest dog breed you ever had? When I was real little, we had an Irish setter golden retriever mix named Casey. She was pretty big. And then we had a full-blooded golden retriever named Maggie, and she was pretty big. So those would be the biggest dogs I've ever had. Oh, check it out. Look at you.
Just look where you had it before you went potty.
Yeah. He's so bad about leaving that little ball out there. Those are like childhood dogs, though. I've never like had a large dog as an adult, and I don't really think I want one. And when I say large dog, I mean like Salvador being on the low end of that and a Mastiff being on the high end of that.
Ujiro size.
Like Ujiro size is a no-go for me. Salvador size, probably a no-go for me. I like, I don't know. I like smaller dogs. I get along better with smaller dogs. Jason, you're getting ever closer to that wrench disappearing. I'm just letting you know. Ever closer every day. Every day, the last few days, you've really been ramping it up. And when that wrench disappears, you're at the mercy. So if that's what you want, keep being a stupid attention seeker. Because I'll do it. What the fuck did you do? Look at the last thing you posted. I'm sitting here talking about fucking dogs. We're having a conversation about dogs, and you write Blumpkin Pie. The fuck does that have to do with dogs? Did you have a dog named Blumpkin Pie? I will whip you into shape. I'll make a man out of you, Jason. Dude, if I take his wrench, he will be at the mercy. He'll be banned so quick. Dude, the next time Phoebe's in here, she'll just ban him. Even if he doesn't say anything, because he's fucking riled her up to the point of, like, angst.
Bickering all the damn time.
Two of you.
But no, Dinosaur's head is definitely way too small for his body.
Yeah, he's got no brain. Even what he has, like when you feel the top of Dinor's head, like most dogs, when you rub their head, there's like, you could feel like a little skull up there. Dinor, it's like you could rest a drink on his head. It's just flat. He just... Like you put your hand on his head and it's just like, where's the brain? Just flat up there. Yeah, Dinor is, nobody ever said he was the smartest boy. He's not. He's just the goodest boy.
not even a smooth brain, it's just a flat brain.
Yeah.
Maybe
Just
his
flat.
head was too big for his mom and he got the squoosh.
I don't know. You got a tiny little brain. You got a tiny little puppy brain. I'd buy Phoebe a guitar to break over Jason's head. I'd pay money to watch that. Dude, Jason loves pissing off Phoebe, dude. It's one of his fun things in the chat to do.
I'm noticing like significant delays with timeouts now.
YouTube is like it did an update on the app. I saw the app update. I can't remember when it was, 2 or 3 days ago. And since then, it's almost like there's a delay on my shit that wasn't there before. Like they've added like a 10-second delay or a 20-second delay to my stream. Because I used to be able to like fucking see shit in real time, and now I see people laughing at shit that I said like fucking 30 seconds ago or whatever the fuck. It's so fucked up. Fuck
It's like
YouTube.
it's defaulted to low latency or something.
I don't know what it is, but I don't like it. Needs time for the algorithm to process what you said, dude. I wish I felt like you were wrong and being paranoid, but you're probably right. Hey, Paul, I got in a cab yesterday, and the driver looked like a doppelpaul. The hat, sunglasses, beard, almost spot on. Cool. There's a bunch of us out there. There's a bunch of doppelpauls out there, man. You just got to find them. You got to be on the lookout.
Didn't it just like quit randomly during Flash Fried?
What?
The stream.
Oh yeah, Flash Fried was just fucked up. Like the stream was fine, and then right at the end of our fucking patron Flash Fried, it just like went to shit for no reason. I looked at our connection. Our connection was fucking, it never changed. So it was just YouTube deciding like, all right, we're gonna fucking fuck up. I just hate the platform. I wish that there was some kind of fucking competitive platform that we could move to. I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Vimeo just wants to like.
Vimeo is.
They're robbers.
Yeah, they're robber barons over there, bro. Like Vimeo is fucking crazy.
Do the old bait and switch, like, oh yeah, look at this cool new feature. Now pay $500 for it.
Yeah, Vimeo was all like Patreon integration. Now people will be able to. We were like, oh shit, maybe we'll just start delivering all our patron shows via Vimeo because it's like integrates directly into Vimeo and it makes it easy for people to watch it and blah 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 blah. Cool. And then we started doing it, and then we got this angry email from Vimeo like, hey, have you been like given paid content and distributing it on Vimeo? And we were like, yeah. We use the Patreon integration thing, and they're like, "Oh, you gotta upgrade your account. You gotta pay $500 a month." Like we already have like a pro account. I don't know what we pay for that. A couple $100 a month probably, and it's like, no, you gotta pay $500 a month to be able to do that. And we were like, no thanks. So we just stopped using it. It's like, and then like what? Something else recently happened with Vimeo too.
Yeah, you were trying to use it as a backup where no one was watching us.
Right, yeah. So here's what we were doing with Vimeo. Then we were like, okay, fuck Vimeo. We can't use it as a front-facing platform. Let's use it as a backup. So I started doing these double streams. See, we were streaming, but to a private stream, right? So I would stream to YouTube, and then just in case YouTube had a problem with it, there's a backup stream on Vimeo. Well, I did that for a couple of weeks, And then Vimeo was like, you've exceeded your limit. You need to pay $500 a month.
I think it was more than that. I think it was like 800 or something.
Yeah, it's like $800 a month for a unlimited storage. And it's just like, fuck you. Fuck you, Vimeo. Get the fuck out of here.
Like, you'd use it if it wasn't highway robbery.
Complete highway robbery. Like, they're money hungry over there. They think we got all the fucking goddamn money in the world. It's like, no. Borderline extortion, yeah. No wonder no one uses Vimeo. I know. This is why. This is why. Because we thought at least we were like, okay, fuck it. We're not going to be able to use it to distribute shit, but at least we can use it to have a backup copy of our shit. Just in case something goes wrong with the YouTube version, they censor it, they flag it, whatever. We've got the fucking full video over on Vimeo. In a nice fucking cloud-based thing that our editors can go get it from. No. We reached our limit in 2 weeks of me streaming our show to it. Now we can't live stream. That's what it was. It's not that we can't upload there. It's that we can't live stream to the show, to the channel anymore. Even though we were doing unlisted private live streams.
I probably had 2 views max.
One of them being us.
Yeah.
Dude, it's just ridiculous.
All they had to do to be like a legit competitor is be reasonable.
Yeah.
You'd be using it for Patreon all day, every day. If it was like, oh, $200 a month. Reasonable. Yep.
There's just nothing like that. And we can't insulate ourselves from it in the ways that people think. We can't, like the whole website idea. It's a good idea. We may very well have a website, but it's going to be based on one of these other platforms because hosting your own videos, that's a no-fly zone. YouTube has a whole department where they interface with fucking copyright holders. Copyright holders just sue you if you host your own videos. We can't. Lawsuits? No. And it's fucking insanely expensive to host the amount of streaming video that we're trying to host and have the amount of people watching it. Insanely expensive. So it's just like, what do we do? Where do we go? We don't know. I mean, it's very possible that the future of the show is like a more audio-only kind of experience because the podcasting platforms don't seem to be anywhere near as censorious as the other platforms. We've never had a problem with a podcasting platform going like, oh, we're pulling your shit. It just goes up. Oh, I'm pretty sure Vimeo is losing money.
They'd lose less money if they weren't robber barons.
Yeah. If they came at us like, hey, $25 a month or $30 a month or something, we'd be like, okay.
Or even 200. Like that's.
I don't even know, dude. 200 is, I think, what we're paying for our pro account. I think that should unlock all these fucking features if you're paying 200 a month. They want 800 more a month on top of our pro account. Mm-mm. When it comes to this type of content, when I say this type of content, I mean anybody that does live streams in front of their audience, which is a big part of YouTube and how people interact with their audiences these days. Anybody that has a show that isn't directly audience interactive, this is the only platform for you. This is it. It's Google or nothing.
You don't get ads, though.
Right. No ads. Paul, you look like the king of red lions from Wind Waker. Neat. I look like the boat from Wind Waker. The dragon boat.
Although you do make slightly less sad revenue from people watching on YouTube Premium versus ads, though. Your
That's
ad
true.
money is ridiculous. It's like $2 or something.
Yeah, it's absurd. I mean, it's absurdly like but I got placed on the naughty list a long time ago because I made fun of the chimp lady. That was when I got naughty listed on this channel. Tweet at YouTube, fuck that. Like, I don't want to be on YouTube's radar. I'm fine with things the way they are. I never like looked at Highdeology or my previous shit as a way to make money, and I still really don't.
Yeah. Well, it would be nice to get a super chat in this stream. I haven't seen one yet.
There's been a 99-cent one.
Yeah. Come on, y'all.
No, don't, fuck, no. I don't push people to fucking donate. They can donate if they want to. They don't have to. That's TJ's shtick. Yeah, but the boat was being controlled by the actual king. What?
Huh?
Oh, yeah. He's talking about Wind Waker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the boat was the actual king in boat form. Twitch or TikTok may be possible alternatives. Well, let me knock one of those off right now. Twitch, not an alternative. Twitch is more censorious than YouTube is and has a tighter code of conduct. An average DFF episode would be immediately removed and banned from Twitch.
And then you get caught in the whole, like, exclusive VOD on Twitch for 48 hours or some shit.
Well, you have to download it from Twitch and put it somewhere else.
Yeah, but, like, you can't even display it anywhere for, like, 48 hours
Right.
or something.
It's ridiculous. Here's Canadian 5 for you. Well, thank you. TJ's shtick is surprisingly effective. It is, but it's just not how I conduct myself here. I much prefer looking at myself as a busker type. I do what I do here, and if you want to throw, a couple bucks on my hat, feel free, but no sweat off my balls if you don't. I do some of these streams and I get a lot of super chats, and I do some of these streams and I get none. TikTok is cringy 60-second vids. Well, that puts that out of the fucking realm of possibility for us. Thanks, Black Butter Crunch.
It's a cute little pit bull, I think, in his profile.
Yeah, he's got a little pity. You got a cute dog, Black Butter Crunch. You better be nice to that dog. Because he's a cutie patootie. I think TikTok is trigger happy with the censorship too. I mean, most of these platforms are. That's the problem that we're talking about. Like, we're talking about the fact that we run a show, and we're not even all that fucking edgy on our show. It's not like we're dropping gamer words and N-bombs every 5 seconds. Like, we've adapted to the new way of doing things. And that doesn't matter. We cuss, we make funny observations, and that's enough to get you fucking censored. That's enough to get you placed on the naughty list, and that's enough to make our fucking, not only our fucking YouTube, but our Patreon, like, vulnerable.
You guys are protected solely by how popular it is.
Yep. If we weren't like a top 50 Patreon in the world or approaching it,
or at least in your category. Yeah.
yeah, we would be probably banned a long time ago. Let's put it that way. That and the fact that TJ knows one of the founders of Patreon has probably saved us a lot. He does, Hal. One of the guys that founded Patreon is a dude that used to be a YouTube creator and a really good one. I subscribed to him back in the day. Jack Conti. He used to make indie music videos back on YouTube, back when that was just a burgeoning thing. And he was kind of like a folksy guitar guy that wove electronic music in, made very pretty songs. And he, along with a bunch of other people, made Patreon. So he's one of the founding members of Patreon. And TJ and him had some interaction back in the day. So they're not like best buds, but TJ knows the dude. So maybe that helps a little bit.
On the bright side, them vaxes are getting unlocked on May 1st.
Yeah, supposedly. That depends on your state's ability to distribute it to people. Yeah. Honestly, when the LA meetup got shut down early, I thought it was because Florida versus Africa was too edgy for the venue. That had nothing to do with it. Did you hear about MasterCard refusing to process payments for the hub a while back? It's crazy how they can just do that. I don't even know what the hub is, bro. Who would you write a diss track on? TJ. I owe him one. Yeah. He wrote a fucking banger of a diss track on me.
Has he even paid Scotty yet?
I don't know, dude. I gotta follow up on that shit. I keep forgetting because it wasn't my bet, but I don't know that TJ has even paid Scotty his $1,000 yet. I've seen no ceremony. I've seen no fucking mention of it. Like, maybe he did. I gotta imagine if he hadn't, Scotty'd be screaming, but I thought they were gonna, thought they were gonna pay on fucking camera. Thought there was gonna be a ceremony like last time where TJ bequeathed on bended knee the money to Scotty. Thought the whole TJ not paying was a shtick. Well, if it is, I'm not in on the shtick. It's a shtick between the two of them that I'm not in on, if that's the case. Because the way I look at it, TJ owes Scotty fucking $1,000 on bended knee because Trump finished his term. TJ's running low on money. I wonder if Scotty's charging him points on it. You know how this works, TJ. I'll give you a couple of weeks, but it's 2 points a week. First payment's due first of the month. I've been watching too much Sopranos. You know how this fucking works, TJ. Don't take this fucking deal with me and then try and act like you don't understand down the road. 2 weeks, 2 points a week.
I don't know. Have you ever been stiffed on a bet, or are you just not a betting man?
Yeah, I've made like gentlemen's bets before, but I really don't like betting with money. I just, I don't know, man. Money is too transient, so I've never been a betting type of guy. I put like $10. Like I used to do this thing back when I was living in California, where my parents would do these football pools at work, where you could buy a square on the pool, and if the the squares that you owned had two numbers on them, and the score for the different teams on each axis had to have that number in it. And if you got those numbers, you got paid every quarter that those numbers remained in the score. So what you wanted to happen when you played a football pool was for the score to get to a certain point where those numbers were present in the right teams, and then to just stop, basically. And I never really won any. You'd buy in for $10 or whatever, and then every quarter, you know what I mean? You hope that you win. But nope, never really did much betting. Never really put much money on the line. I just don't like doing it. I really don't like gambling in general. Like I'm not a big, like I'll take a certain amount of money into a casino. I'll be like, I'm taking $40 in there, and when that's gone, I'm done, And that's usually how I do. If I win like double what I brought in, I'm done. Then I use that money in the casino, and I buy like dinner at one of the nice restaurants in the casino, and it's on the casino basically. Bada bing. That's the best way to do it. I try and beat the casino. You like the slots? That's usually what I play, honestly. Like I've always, like, the only times that I've ever won any money at gambling have been on slots. Like I sat down at a blackjack table one time and lost my ass. Like, and I like to think that I'm okay at blackjack, but it just, the cards didn't go my fucking way, and I bet wrong, and I just
put my ears in. I forgot.
Oh yeah. But like slots, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. There's this slot called Triple Diamond that I'm always looking for when I go to a fucking when I go to a casino. They've got these diamonds that come up, and the point of the diamond is either pointing up or down. And when you get one of those on one of the reels that's off center, it moves. So you can get like, dude, that's my most winning slot machine. So that's always the slot machine I look for, is that Triple Diamond. I won $700. That's the most I've ever won gambling. I won $700 on 3 spins on a Triple Diamond in Vegas one time at the Hard Rock Hotel. That's my biggest gambling win.
Hurt a little, but it was fun.
Yeah. Why'd you take them out?
I had a shower.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just forgot.
Yeah, they'll close up overnight.
Well, mine are big enough that I don't think it'd be overnight.
Yeah, that's probably true. No, I cashed out on the $700 and I took it home with me. I might have paid like for a dinner out of it or something. Dude, that was a well, whatever. I can't really there's a story that I love about Vegas, but I'm always worried about telling it because I don't want people to be brought in to my streaming. But I had a really fucking cool story happen to me in Vegas that I wish I could fucking tell you guys, but I can't.
Oh, how many names do you need?
I would have to tell my ex-wife's stepdad's name.
So,
And I wouldn't even if I didn't use it, people would figure it out. Okay,
yeah.
you know what? I could do this.
Bob, Billy, and Joe.
I could do this. Okay. I'm not going to mention names, and I'm not going to mention the band that he played for. My ex-wife's stepfather played for a very popular 60s psychedelic band. Let's just put it that way. He was a touring guitarist for an extraordinarily popular, well-known 60s psychedelic / hippie band. Okay?
He did the Velvet Underground, let's be frank.
Oh, no. He wasn't the Velvet Underground guy.
That would work better.
You won't know his name right off tops because he was not a regular member of the band. He was their touring guitarist. And he appears on some of their recordings, but not all. So anyway, I did not know this because he is a dude that is very humble about his past. He does not do that anymore. He is not a rock star anymore. He has his own shit. He's got his own business now, and he does a totally different thing. And so he's not real open about that part of his past. So I had just started dating my ex-wife, and for her 21st birthday, her mom and stepdad got her a trip to Las Vegas and said she could bring whoever she wanted. We had just started dating. She chose to bring me. So they got her a nice room at Caesar's Palace, and they kind of did their, they had planned out a couple of dinners. They wanted to take us to a couple of dinners. So we ate at Wolfgang Puck's restaurant in Caesar's Palace. And we ate at this other really expensive wine bar in Caesar's. And then the third one that they wanted to take us to was the Hard Rock Cafe in the Hard Rock in Vegas. Other than those 3 times we got together, they did their own thing, we did their own thing. But we got together these 3 times while we were in Vegas. And the third time we got together was at the Hard Rock. So we go to the Hard Rock Cafe inside the Hard Rock. It's this giant restaurant, right? It's got all kinds of awesome rock memorabilia decorating all the way around it. Jimi Hendrix's fucking coat and this, that, and the other thing, right? It's fucking crazy in there. So you go in there and we sit down and we order up a big birthday dinner for my then girlfriend. And I wanted to help pay the bill for this one because they had picked up all the other bills, and I was feeling like that manly need to hey, let me throw down a little bit on her birthday dinner or something. So we have this big lavish dinner, and the check comes. And I start reaching in my wallet, and her stepdad goes, no. And I was like, please. He was like, trust me, no. There's no point. And he pulls out this card out of his wallet. And I couldn't see what it was, but it was black. And he put it down on the thing. And the waiter looked at it and was like, oh. And he took it and he went back. And the manager came out and said, oh, we're so happy to have you here, blah, 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 said his name. And he was like, of course, everything tonight is on the arm. I hope you guys can we get you anything else? Can we get you some drinks? Everything's on the house tonight, of course. And he was like, no, thank you very much, though. And I was sitting across from him, and I was like, so the manager says, well, thank you guys for coming. Thank you so much for coming in. And I was like, after they left, I looked at him and I was like, what the fuck just happened? And he showed me the card. And it wasn't even a credit card. It was a Hard Rock Cafe card that was black, and it had his name on it. And I was like, oh, so you've got like a Hard Rock Cafe credit card. He's like, this is not a credit card. There's no numbers on this. And I said, how did you do that? And he looked at me. I'll never forget it. He looked at me and he said, I'm a rock star, son. I was like, what? He said, come with me. He took me over to the wall. And he said, take a look at that guitar there on the wall. And I went and looked at it, and it was his fucking guitar. There's a picture of him looking all hippied out in John Lennon glasses, standing next to an enormous star, looking like a total fucking hippie, and his name's right there on the fucking guitar. And I was like, it's like, why didn't you tell me this? He's like, I'm low-key about it. That was my past, and I don't really do that anymore, and I like to live a quiet life. I was like, all right, cool. Thanks. You guys aren't gonna guess who he is. Like I said, he was not a member of the main band. He was the touring guitarist. So he played at Woodstock. I'll let you guys know that. He played with his touring band at Woodstock. One of the craziest fucking things that's ever happened to me. It was crazy. That's how I found out. No, not the dead. I'm not going to tell you guys if you fucking guess it. So you may as well stop guessing. I don't want him bothered. I don't want him fucking... Let's just say that he knew very well an enormous star. An enormous fucking star. Like a couple of enormous stars. But he worked with an absolutely enormous star. I'm a rock star, son. I was like, what? You're a what? Fucking guitar right up on the wall in the Hard Rock Cafe. Unbelievable. Yep, you got it. He's Mark Wahlberg. He's the lead singer of Puddle of Mudd. You nailed it. How did you know? I need an easy friend. Was he one of the Migos? Yeah. I think the Migos were in middle school when this happened, so probably not. People are guessing a bunch of people that were like babies or not born yet during fucking Woodstock, which I told you he played at. So I'm starting to think it's time for the guesses to stop, and I'm starting to think I'm gonna order 66 if you don't stop fucking doing it. There's not one out yet. I'm gonna give you guys some time because I know there's a fucking little delay that's happening, but I'm telling you, after a certain fucking point, I'm gonna call it. The story is cool enough without you guys trying to endlessly fucking guess who and what. I don't want this person bothered. Like I told you, they live a very private life. They have left behind their rock star days for a quiet life. And I'm not going to intercede on that. Boot the Zoomers, I know. I mean, you can't bother the rock star because you don't know who the rock star is. That's the point. Is the YouTube mod here today? Yeah, I assume he is. Wonder how he's doing. I don't know. You need a black card? You got to be a rock star to get one of those cards. I'm stressed out today. People are the worst. Sorry to hear that, Abby. Hope your day gets better. But people do suck. What's your worst cop experience? There's a couple that come to mind. One time I was pulled over while I was in the back seat of my high school girlfriend's car. She was driving. I had the seatbelt buckled around the arm strap of her purse. I had done it inadvertently when I was sitting back there. It was her and one of her girlfriends and me and that girl's boyfriend in the back seat. So there were 4 of us in her car. We got pulled over, and the cop came to the window, and of course she had already started crying. And he's like, "Settle down, ma'am, settle down. It's okay, it's okay." He starts baby talking her and shit. And she's like, "I don't even know where my license is." And I was like, "I've got your purse back here." And I grabbed her purse and I tried to hand it to her, but it was buckled around her thing. So I reached down to unbuckle my seatbelt, and that cop, I shit you not, in a lightning flash, was at the door with the gun, not pointed at me, but out. And he was like, "Son, you don't want to be reaching down there where I can't see." And I was like, "Okay, I have to get her purse. It's my seatbelt is buckled." He's like, "All right, just do it slow." He's got, fucking weapon at low ready. He's got the flashlight on me and shit. "Do it slow, do it slow, do it slow." And I'm like, "Oh, all right." So I slowly unbuckled the seatbelt and handed the purse up into the front seat. She gets her insurance card or whatever out and hands it to the cop. And then he's like, "Ma'am, can you step out around back with me?" Now, I had the window cracked, and so I could hear every word that was being said. So he walks her around to the back of the car. And he says to her, he's like, "I'm going to let you off with a warning today. But with that warning comes another warning. If you keep hanging around little punks like that little asshole in the back seat, you are never going to go anywhere in your life." And I'm listening to this and I'm going like, it's like, "You're never going to go anywhere if you keep hanging around with little shit heels like that little asshole in the back seat. I'm just warning you. He's trouble. All right, you go on about your business." And I just sat there. I was like, what? What did I do? She was the one that was fucking speeding. So that one was pretty fucking...
Maybe you thought you weren't manly enough.
I don't know what it was, dude. I don't know what the fuck it was. I mean, I had piercings and shit. That's probably what it was. Like, at that point, I had my eyebrow pierced. I had my septum pierced and my tongue pierced. I don't think he saw the tongue piercing, but he probably saw the other piercings and was like, that little motherfucker there is going to be a street punk or whatever the fuck. It's like, he just didn't like me.
Yeah, they want your ID glued to your forehead.
It's like, what the fuck? He was not wearing a cowboy hat. This happened in Fresno, California. So he definitely had the country accent, but there's no 10-gallon hat involved.
I don't know. Do you know anyone that's kept their like eyebrow piercings into old age, or is it just something that you get sick of?
I mean, I liked mine. I had to take it out to work at Starbucks. Because Starbucks had a very strict policy. Now they don't give a fuck. Now you see people with piercings all the time in Starbucks. But back in the day, I got hired at Starbucks on January 1st, the year 2000. And so they were very strict about piercings and visible tattoos and shit back then. So I had to take out my labrae and my tongue and my eyebrow piercing to work there, and they all three closed up.
Probably the stupidest one I got was the dermals.
You got the dermals here.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's stupid. You tried them out, and they just didn't agree with you.
No. Only one stayed, but it looked weird just having one.
Yeah. I'm almost 30. Every job I've ever had has tried and failed to get me to remove them. I don't know how you got hired having them, you know what I mean? Isn't that the way? A year after they let go my favorite barista, they stopped caring about natural hair colors, yeah. I mean, now you can fucking have flaming pink hair and be all pierced up and have tattoos all over your arms. As long as they're not like tattoos of a dick going into a pussy, you're fine, you know?
You can wear different shoes now.
Yep. You can wear we were out. You remember we were out the other day and we went to eat at a place that was in the same parking lot as a Starbucks, and I watched several baristas walking into work, and I was like, you guys got it so fucking cool now. Back in the day, we used to have to wear khaki work pants, a polo shirt, or a Starbucks issued advertising T-shirt. No piercings, had to have, if you had long hair, it had to be put up. Now they don't give a shit. I think they still make people put their hair up, but that's just for sanitary reasons. Tats are not only in, tats are now normalized. So think about that. Like, there's a certain upside and downside to that. On one hand, tats are, like you're not being discriminated against based on the fact that you want to get some body art done. But on the other hand, tats aren't edgy anymore. Like, what little bit of edge that tattoos had, it's gone, man. Like, tattoos are part of the popular culture now. You can be all tatted up and work anywhere you want. I mean, I still haven't seen like a neck tatted up fucking national level politician yet, but it's coming.
Oh, my dad's got some pretty cool ones. He's got like 3 Onis.
Japanese demons.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's got tattoos.
My grandma was so sad when she finally saw him because he just couldn't cover him up anymore.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I have to be honest. I think that cop was onto something. I'm going to let you stay. I'm getting tats as soon as I can afford it, yeah.
Yeah, definitely don't go to your local I just bought a thing on Amazon. I'll give it to you for $20.
Yeah, don't do it, dude. Do your research before you get a tat. I lucked out because the tattoo that I do have, I really do genuinely like it. It needs touching up. It hasn't been touched up in 20 years, but like, I genuinely like the tattoo that I have. I think it could be cleaned up a little bit. It's one of the things I want to get done when I go to get the other work that I have done. I want to get what I have up here on my arm freshened up, and then I want to get my forearms and hands done. I don't think not having tats is going to become edgy. I think the next thing that you're going to see is a massive expansion in body modification. So you're going to see people starting to get, like, Little Uzi Vert just made a cultural shift and kind of defined what extreme is going to be for a while. You got a fucking 10-carat diamond implanted in his fucking forehead. That's going to be the new shit. It's going to be like extreme body modification stuff is going to be the new edgy shit.
You ever just forget your tattoos there? Like, oh shit.
I mean, yeah. I don't think about having a tattoo all the fucking time, but
I just forget about the one on my hip.
Oh, yeah?
I see it. I'm like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's back there. But it looks stupid when someone gets something cool. It might be popular. What? That diamond will reject in a week? You think so? Oh, man. It's Lil Uzi Vert. He's got money to get, like, all the best fucking... No, go look it up, dude. He did the diamond shit. I don't know if he's still got it in there. Dermals won't last forever, especially with that kind of weight. I understand that it's not dermal. I understand that it is a setting that is screwed directly into his skull. And that's what I understand. Is that he actually had a small coping drilled into his skull. And the diamond is set into a piece of jewelry that is screwed into that. And then they, of course, had to make the flesh around it. They had to peel that open and scarify it or whatever the fuck to get it to hold the diamond. Yeah.
But yeah. Overall, you're probably right, Zach, that dermals don't stick.
We'll see.
Like the ones I had, they were just like, meh. Get me out of here.
Yeah. Like, that is my understanding, is that they drilled a setting into his skull and then set the diamond in it. Have you heard of people putting magnets in their fingers? Dude, I've told this story before, but this is always the coolest fucking story. At the LA meetup that we did, there was a dude that he was a like transhumanist guy, and he brought a bunch of stuff to show me because I'd been talking about like crazy tech and implants, and he had a RFID implant in his wrist that he had installed himself that unlocked his phone, and it would only unlock his phone if he was holding it. So he gave me his phone. He just handed me his phone. He goes, like, go ahead and try and unlock it. And, like, it didn't even have the option to put in a code. I was like... And then he was like, all right, just lay it in my hand. And I put the phone in his hand, and it just unlocked. And I was like, whoa. He had that. He could unlock his car with it. So he had an RFID sensor under the door handle of his car that when he made contact with it, it unlocked his car. So I was like, so that type of shit is the future. You're going to be able to control your electronics with a wave of your hand. You're going to be able to unlock your car, make purchases by just waving your hand over the thing. It's going to be fucking dope.
Mark of the beast.
The mark of the beast, indeed.
Let's get the security scanners going off all the time.
I don't know. He brought me the upgraded kit that he was going to install. He showed me where it was on his wrist and let me feel it. Yeah. You could feel it. It was very small, but it was a definite like lump in his wrist. And then he showed me the upgraded one that he was going to install and all the surgical equipment that comes with it and shit. And it's like a little pellet, basically. And he was going to take out the old one and replace it with this new pellet. Pretty crazy. He said he tried to have a doctor do it for like 3 or 4 months and wouldn't find a doctor that would do it. And so he went online and learned how to anesthetize himself and how to sterilize and use an autoclave and shit and just did it on himself. I was like, you're fucking crazy. Whatever, bro. How much these things cost, I don't know. I remember him talking about the cost of them and shit, but I don't remember what he said. I don't remember them being exorbitantly expensive. It's just the fact that they're not really worth much if you can't get somebody to install them. Like, imagine having that integrated with like a smart home where like certain gestures could bring up the lights, bring down the lights, you know, combined with voice commands and shit. You know what I mean? Think about it integrated with modern fucking viewing technology. So like they've got these like augmented reality glasses that are on the cusp of being a real thing. Imagine having control based with those, you know what I mean? Because you've got an implant in your dominant hand. So you wave this hand, you can move windows out of the way. You can zoom in on things. You can do gestures. Maybe you get them in both hands. So there's analog gesturing that you can do within this, you know, haptic, virtual kind of augmented reality kind of thing you're dealing with. It's going to be fucking amazing. Imagine this. This is so cool to me. Imagine you're working on like a project, right? And you're using this kind of technology. So you're drawing or you're circling something on a map or you're typing something up and you're watching it. And then you're sitting with somebody, you know, in the same office building or whatever. And you're like, hey, I'm going to send that over to you. And you just, and it flies over to their screen and bloop, and they can fucking collaborate on it. Just imagine that shit. That's not that far down the fucking pipeline. Imagine like a set of glasses replacing the smartphone, because that's the next step. Like a set of glasses that can be clear when they need to be, so that you can see through them, and they can provide augmented reality stuff that warns you about like potential hazards as you're walking, uses GPS to locate you and, you know, let you know what the best route is, and you might be able to see the route that you need to walk in a city like you can in a video game, like just arrows that are just kind of on the ground pointing to where you need to walk to get you where you want. And then they've got a more immersive mode where, you know, the lenses go opaque and you can watch movies. Yeah, you can walk around naked. The VR can just put the clothes on you if you don't want to see naked people. Yeah. What if you need glasses? I imagine that, you know, people that need glasses will have an integrated version of this with the lenses made the way that you need to see that still provide the type of fucking glasses that we're talking about. But I got to be honest with you, Ingrid. Glasses are a thing of the past. They're a relic now. The fact that 99% of eye problems can be fixed with laser surgery now means that in the future, people aren't going to have glasses for their eyesight. That's basically Google Glasses. No, I'm one of the few people that actually got to try Google Glasses. Google Glasses is not what I'm talking about. Well, that's the next step. So you've got this outward set of goggles or glasses that you wear that allows this integration. The next step beyond that is the replacement of your corneas with a piece of biotechnology that integrates directly with some kind of processing chip. I love it, dude. I love thinking about this type of shit. My apprentice got the eye laser and it was only a few grand. It used to be like 20K. Yeah, it's becoming more and more reasonable and affordable. And glasses, I'm just telling you, glasses for eyesight are going to be seen as a relic of the past. There might be a few people that choose to keep wearing them for whatever reason, but most people are going to have this increasingly safe elective surgery to repair common eyesight problems. And glasses are going to be, a very few people will still need them. A few grand is still beyond the reach of most Americans, but it's less beyond the reach of most Americans than 20K. That's the point. It's becoming more and more affordable. Eventually, it'll become more and more of a routine procedure, and people will have it done, at certain points in their lives to save their vision. Like kids will have it done, you know what I mean? So that they don't have to grow up wearing glasses and shit. It'll become a routine fucking medical procedure. It already almost is. I'll be right back. What? What would power the glasses? Bioelectric energy. Don't listen to Paul. He has a very small brain. Once again, you make a good point, Am I Banned? You're trying, I think you're trying to get banned, but you keep making good points. I was talking about this on a Grease Trap the other day, and when it was coming out, I want to know how you guys feel about me saying this. It's something that I've said before here on Highdeology. I am slightly not sane. Now, I'm not as bad off as some people when it comes to mental illness. But I have a confluence of mental illnesses that makes me markedly insane when compared to a neurotypical person. And I try and be upfront about that to people. And I don't mean to use it as an excuse either for me having wild political positions and going on like I do. But I do think it's something that people need to be aware of when they listen to me. You know? Now, I won't speak for anybody else, but I have issues, right? And those issues sometimes cause me to react in ways that are not, sometimes not okay. I mean, I know you guys know, but that's the thing is like, aren't insane people supposed to be unaware that they're insane? I mean, I'm not, okay, so maybe insane is not the right word. I'm a little touched. You're mid-sane. You're definitely on the political fringes. I'm right there with you. I feel like I have to be there though, and that might be a drive of the particular fucking neurobiology that makes up, you know, what I am, that makes up Paul Parkey. Some combination of nature and nurture puts me there. I think you may be overthinking a bit, maybe. But I've always tried to be open about that shit because I feel like a lot of people aren't. Like, I think it's important for people to know that in addition to the opinions that I give and the takes that I have and the talks that I give, I struggle very profoundly with my mental health. I think it's important for people to know that that sometimes intrudes on my, I don't know, narrative. Doesn't that make you aware that a lot of people are like that or like in some way and it's just a bunch of crazy? Well, no, I mean, not crazy. Crazy's not the right word. I don't like the term crazy, but here's the thing. I do think a lot of people are like that. I just don't think a lot of people are upfront about that. See, I wear that on my sleeve and I always have. I don't like people to get the wrong idea about me, and so I try and give them as much realness as possible. You guys have seen me at my worst. You guys have seen me at my best. I don't fucking try and hide what I am. I talk very openly about the problems that I deal with, way more openly than a lot of people do. And then you guys watch a lot of people that struggle in silence. I'm not saying they have some kind of duty to come forward, but there are a lot of people out there that struggle with this shit that put on the brave face and just pretend they don't have it. Don't talk about it. Don't let it rule them or whatever the fuck. I don't look at it that way. This is a part of me. This is something that I will struggle with till the day that I fucking croak. And for some of those people, they work despite their mental illness. I work through mine. I can't be what I'm not. So I have to work within what I've got here. And I feel like I'm glad that I've been honest about that. I don't know why, but I'm glad that I've been upfront about that with people. I think some people just aren't self-aware enough to admit it or deal with it, and it's good that you are. A lot of introspection, which I'm sure you do, can help with that. Yeah, I do a lot of introspection. Thanks for introducing me to Derek Jensen. I've changed my life because of it and will keep doing so. Cool. Most people's insanity is socially acceptable. Sure. A lot of people look at talking very frankly about your mental health and your struggles and what it does to you and what it is like an overshare. But I think that just contributes to the stigmatization of mental illness, honestly. I don't think it's incumbent upon anybody to share anything they don't want about their private lives, but this idea that they shouldn't, I don't like it. I think that introspection brings compassion, maybe not in your case for other people you can see with similar problems. No, I have a lot of fucking compassion for people that suffer with mental illness because I know how fucking ugly it's been in my life, and I can only imagine people that are dealing with worse. So you know, PTSD is the worst mental illness. There is no worst mental illness. Every mental illness is its own private fucking hell. And that's just the truth. I think it's a combo of both, like everything, man. I don't think it's nature or nurture exclusively. I think it's like the weave, you know. I think I inherited a lot of propensity for the mental illness that I deal with, and then I think I learned a lot of the ways that it expresses itself. I mean, we live in a country that really doesn't but doesn't take mental illness seriously. Now, it's taken more seriously now than it was in the past. It's moving in the right direction, and that's a positive thing. But there are millions and millions of people suffering in silence with this shit, don't even know they have it, think it's some sign of weakness in them. They don't understand. Mental illness is a very real and can be very crippling to your ability to socialize and just be a person, to enjoy things. Dude, I had a crazy fucking, I won't call it a nightmare, But I had a crazy dream about me jumping off of a building a bunch of times. I was in New York City and I climbed the Empire State Building, you know, or whatever the fuck, went up the elevator to the top, and I was on the observation deck looking down. This is something I did back in the day, so it came from memory, you know, and I was looking down over it and I was like, fuck this, I'm done. I jumped and I was like, ah, and I hit the ground and it didn't even hurt. And I got up and I was all like mangled and shit. I was all like, ah, but it didn't hurt. And I was like, well, guess I got to do that again. So I like shambled my way back up to the top of the building and did it. I like in the dream, I did it 3 times before I woke up. It was crazy. Good times. One of my more memorable dreams. Cursed with immortality, yeah. Wonder what that means. Probably nothing. Probably just your brain fucking going through some weird fantasy. Found your sharing pretty informative in that you've shown some of the process of working through mental illness. Yeah. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end this. It's been a long one. Thanks for chilling with me today. It's been fun.